Grand Rising, beautiful divine souls. It's been a minute since I've done a video. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Easter weekend, if that's what you celebrated, Passover, whatever it is you celebrated. I truly hope you had a wonderful time. And I was just inspired this morning. I just kind of, downloaded or channeled a little inspiration. I shared a post on my Facebook and I thought I would just do a video as well. And what came to me was, what is the invisible enemy? We've all heard of this term before, invisible enemy. Well, I did a little of a comparison between microscopic and macroscopic, or microcosm to macrocosm, because everything is always within, reflected without, or reflected out and reflected back in. It's just how the laws of the universe work, as above, so below. So on a microcosm level, a parasite is this microorganism that lives within the human body. And it literally feeds off of the human. It depletes the human's nutrients and energy and to sustain its life. That's how parasites work. They need a host in order to survive. And so in doing this, in depleting a human's nutrition and energy, it begins to create illness and disease within the host's body. And this is often, the case when people are sick or pick up the stomach flu or get food poisoning or, whatever other ailments you have. Typically at the root is always a parasitic infection. Now, these microorganism parasites are invisible to the human eye because you cannot see them. And yet they are everywhere. They are in our food, they are in our water, they are in our air, they're in our medications, they're in pretty much everything that is processed and synthesized. And I compared this to the parasite in the macro. Now, these parasites are living organisms that live within our communities, within our society, within humanity. And these parasites also feed off of the person, the human. They feed off of our life force. They feed off of us through siphoning our life force energy, siphoning our hard-earned money. They do it through taxation. It's a form of a theft. They're siphoning that, as well as siphoning all of Mother Nature's resources that are actually meant for humanity. They have siphoned, they have taken these resources as their own to sustain their own selves through greed and control. And they leave behind toxic debris, much like the small parasites in our body that makes us sick internally. These macro parasites, they cause illness of the mind, of the body, but also of the mind. And they do this by leaving this toxic debris of fear and propaganda that they push out upon humanity. And that fear, that constant fight or flight, that constant feeling of victimization is the illness and disease of mental. It's the mental illness. Now, we also cannot see these microparasites or macroparasites rather. We cannot see them because they are disguised. They are camouflaged as political leaders, as your government, as banks, our financial industry, big tech and corporations, the mainstream media, all of these gigantic corporations that run the world. We cannot see these macro parasites because they're camouflaged. And This, my friends, is the invisible enemy. We, humanity, have been under the control and in danger of the invisible enemy, which is the most dangerous thing. Because if you don't know it's there, if you can't see it, it literally is running your life. It is literally siphoning your life force energy. It is siphoning your right to live as a free, sovereign human, to live in joy and peace and prosperity and abundance. So, as within, so without. And I thought comparing this micro to macro perspective of what a parasite is a really great way of having that perspective that there is so much more than meets the eye in the physicality. And much of humanity has been blind to the invisible enemy because they have done an amazing job camouflaging themselves. So, anyways, I hope this information gave you a little bit of a light bulb moment or opened up your awareness to something that maybe you didn't see or understand. And it's just all about going within, dissecting the information, and deciding for yourself what feels true for you. So have a beautiful day, my friends. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I will talk to you very soon.